guys,
Hey.
it's Michael and Melanie, and we wanted to kind of share how to never fight about money ever again. Now this may seem super far-fetched, but we wanted to kind of share the secret because through our marriage we found that we've never really thought about money, and it's not because we had a lot of it. You know, a lot of people think that if you have money you won't fight about it, but I think that's actually kind of not true. You know, you can find a way to fight about money regardless of how much you make. But really what we have found through our years of marriage, we've been married for about 5.5 years, I think the reason that we've never really thought about money is we've shared our dreams with each other. And that may seem very simple, almost like too simple, but when you actually share your dreams with each other, it changes things. Like, you stop being competition and you start joining each other and you start becoming a team. You know, like, for the longest time, and I still do inside, I want to be a rock star, you know, and I want to tour the world and put out music, and probably the roughest point in our marriage was a time where this was something I wanted, but I hadn't really shared it. And so it was just this pending, floating dream that I was frustrated about, he didn't understand, and we were butting heads because we weren't on the same page. And really the only way for you to be on the same page is to be open about what really matters to you. No matter how crazy or silly or stupid it may seem, like, you need to be on the same page. And so we would really just encourage you guys, wherever you're at in your relationship, actually share your dreams with each other. Like, not just like, oh yeah, I'd love to have a family someday. No, like, share your dreams with each other, you know, and then start working towards them. No matter how silly or crazy they are, that journey together is what's going to make your relationship amazing. And you won't need to fight about money.
Yeah,
Because,
and I mean, that's 100% it, because like a lot of fights that happen around money, I mean, they're really all centered around poor communication, but I mean, at the end of the day, you know, no relationship's perfect and you're gonna have those moments, but the true way to avoid having those, you know, long drag out fights over something like money is really, like you said, sharing goals with one another and just being on the same page. Because I mean, when you're married, it's like getting into a car together, and it doesn't necessarily matter who's driving. You can swap drivers, you know, but at the end of the day, if I'm trying to get to Miami and she's trying to get to New York, we're gonna have problems, because if we're not communicating to one another what the goal is, then we're not gonna understand what the other person's doing when they have the wheel.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how money works. If you don't have those open conversations and express, like, this is what is truly important to me and this is what I really want to do with my life and what we want to do even on like a month-by-month basis, if you're not willing to have those conversations, then you're not working as a team and it's not going to work out for you. And I mean, this is definitely, you know, talk for married couples, but I mean, this applies to people who are in relationships too. Setting that foundation and just making sure that you're on the same page with someone, and if they're going to actually help you attain the dream, the life that you want to live. And, you know, again, you know, we still have yet to come close to where we want to attain from a financial perspective, but we're heading down the path and we're going there together, and it's been much more of an enjoyable ride being there together than constantly being at odds with one another, because we've shared that and been so open with each other, we never feel like the other person is trying to slight us or rob from the amount of work and effort that we put into bringing the money in. And like, that's not the thought. You know, we both know that we're on the same team, we're on the same page, and we want the same things. And that's, I mean, if you really want to be able to, you know, work in a relationship together and be on the same page from a financial perspective, you need to be able to be on the same team.
especially like when disaster strikes, whether it be financial, whether it be health, whether it be just crazy things, you know, maybe it's drama, maybe it's stuff with friends. Like, if you are on the same page, and this goes far beyond money, when you're on the same page and you know each other's dreams, you know each other's goals, you know each other's hearts, you can get through anything, you know. So goes far beyond just avoiding fights about money. This has everything to do with actually becoming a team, you know, because a lot of times we think about relationships and we're like, oh yeah, we're a team, but are you really? You know, there's a big difference between having the title of team and actually being a team. And we've found that the first step to really actually being on the same page, like legitimately on the same page, is being willing to open up about your dreams and desires and things that you really, really care about, you know? And because of that, when stuff happens, we haven't even questioned whether or not we should make the sacrifice or not, you know? Like there was a time period where Michael was finishing up his schooling, and we decided that in order to get there without him losing his sanity, working full-time and finishing up his schooling, getting his CPA, we decided that he needed to stop working for about 8 months. And that was a really tight time where money was really, really tight. But because we both had the same goal in mind, there was never the question of, well, if you don't work, then I'm the one paying for everything. Sure, I joked with him. I was like, I'm buying everything. Like, I joked, but there was never that legitimate thought of, well, this is my money and I'm supporting you. Like, so you have to now pay me back. Like, there was never that thought because we were on the same page. We had the same dreams. We know everything we go through is just a season, and we help each other.
Right.
And you have to be on the same page. You know, we've done a lot of videos about budgeting and finance and how to make the most of your money and live your dreams, but all of that starts with actually knowing what the dream is. And you can't do that unless you really open up and share the dream and share the goal, because when you have a clear picture, making the sacrifices aren't hard.
Yeah.
They become exciting because they become part of the journey. Instead of a road bump, they become a beautiful scenic part of the trip.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think a lot of people are even just scared to be open with one another, and we think a million things. You know, what if they're not receptive to what I want to do, or they shoot my ideas down? And I mean, relationships are many things, but one thing they can't be is a place where you keep secrets from one another. And that goes for things that you want, not just things that you've done or things that you've thought. Like, if you truly desire something and you're withholding it from the one person that you're wanting to spend the rest of your life with, then I mean, it's gonna hinder you. Unfortunately, that's gonna put a lot of stopping points and roadblocks in your life that just prevent you from getting where you want to go. And it doesn't mean that those conversations are just something that you can just have right away. You have to work up to it, but you have to be willing to have those conversations, especially when it comes to money, because money is a really, really, really big part of getting to where you want to go, obviously. I mean, without it, there's only so much you can do. But I mean, it really hurts my heart when I see people dealing with issues over money, because it turns into this, I need this, to feel independent, or and maybe we have some controversial viewpoints on that, but I see people that talk about like trying to maintain separate accounts and keep things from one another so that way they don't have to explain to their spouse what they're spending on. It's like, so what you're telling me is you just didn't want to have an open conversation and express what you truly want. And to avoid actually having to talk to your partner, you just hide it from them. Like, if you can't have that conversation with them, then I'm sorry, your relationship isn't what you think that it is. And if that conversation doesn't go the way that you want it to go, then you need to continue working on that communication. You can't run from your spouse, otherwise it's just gonna continually split apart. A house divided against itself truly cannot stand.
Your foundation will crumble.
Yeah.
So I know this wasn't like a money tip, but we really wanted to share this with you guys. Yeah, it kind of is, I guess. This is truly the foundation for a great relationship, in not just money, but in all areas, is you guys need to share your dreams with each other. So we'd like to challenge you, wherever you're at, actually take some time to go share your dreams with each other, and it's not going to be just one conversation. Like, be open with what you really want to do, and this should be a fun process. This shouldn't be like something that you dread or are ashamed of. This is where you get to share your dreams and the things that excite you and the things you've always wanted to do but just been too scared. Like, you're a team, and a team can accomplish so much more than one person can on their own. So anyway, we hope that helped you guys, and we love you so much. Remember to always live your dreams, and
all those things.
We love you guys.
Bye.